Greetings and welcome to the Beautiful Me Club, where you can have yourself a ball, where you can find a lot of love. If you're stable, not so stable, whatever you have on your table, we're able to fix it, mend it, talk it out, cry it out, and shout. Leave your woes me, girl, I'm trying to make it. I guess I am alright. Leave your money tight, my man ain't right out in the wind tonight. We came here to party, to smile, to get your me on for a while, to get your groove back, honey child. So get your cute on, let's get wild. And beautiful me baby, that's what I call myself. I leave my attitude on the shelf. It's about me and no one else but beautiful you baby. I'm talking dollars and not cents. It's not arrogance but confidence. So pick your head up and come on in. There's no drama, I'm saying, and no haters up in this spot. You treat it like the queen that you are. Here you walk the red carpet like a superstar. And beautiful you baby.
Welcome to the Somerville Line. My name is Leah, and this is my brother Lionel. We are 9 years old, and we are also in third grade. We have two guests on the show this evening. Our first guest is Miss Pat Willaims from the World Boston. Our second guest is my sister Olivia Fenty of the Chocolate Project.
Thank you, Leah. That was amazing intro. Now, tonight, as Leah just announced, we have Miss Olivia Fenty. Thank you for coming on the show, Olivia. Awesome. So, I met Olivia, how long ago was it? A couple of months now, right? Yeah. And it was at an event at Emmanuel College, and it was about young Black and Latina girls, and the struggles that they face every day, right? Mm-hmm. And Olivia came up and started talking about the Chocolate Project, and I just knew I had to have her on the show, so here we are tonight. And the reason why you were at that event is because you are an intern for We Are the Ones Boston, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. So tell me a little bit about that. What is We Are the Ones, and how are you involved with them?
So We Are the Ones is trying to really connect to the youth and trying to do kind of like the similar things that all like Black Lives Matter groups do in Boston, but they're more centered towards the youth. And I kind of just like help them with a youth perspective and kind of just help them with all like the little things that they need. And they like ask me for my opinion since it is for the youth, so they do want like a youth perspective.
Awesome. So you're like a nice little intern for them. Yeah. Cool. So jumping off of that, you've created your own project called the Chocolate Project, which is actually pretty awesome. So tell me a little bit about that.
So the Chocolate Project is a group, it started in the summertime of last year, and it's a group that strives to promote love, respect, and sisterhood within the African American women community. And I do it with Emmanuel and Kiara. Then they both go to Range with me, and they're both juniors. And we basically try to do that through workshops and photo shoots, so we can allow like different Black girls from Cambridge and Boston and other places to meet one another, and so they can have like photos to take from the project. And we try to do it with workshops so that we can kind of teach people and kind of have discussions about the issues.
Awesome. So now you're 17 now, right? When I met you were 16, I think, right? So you're only 17, but what inspired you to create a project like this?
So during the time, like a lot of the Black Lives Matter groups were happening, I was like completely for it, and I was part of the Students of Color Union, and I wanted to kind of be on board and make a change. But then I also saw, specifically at my school, that there was a lot of like, people were not like, they would go in the streets and they would march, but then they would like degrade Black women on the side, and a lot of the protests that would happen never really talked about Black women. So I kind of felt like if you're going to march in the street for Black men, you should still like black women when you're not marching on the street as well. So then I thought that maybe I should make a project that only centers on black women so that we can deal with the issues that we face that kind of we get from the black community and outside of the black community.
Awesome. So I know I've been to tons of the, probably if not all of the Black Lives Matter protests in and around Boston, a lot of other events. And you touch upon a really important topic, the fact that you're not necessarily talking about black women and they are equally in the struggle, right? Mm-hmm. So how did that make you feel, knowing that black women were kind of indirectly excluded from the conversation with Black Lives Matter?
It made me feel like the way that people were talking about, like, supporting black people were just not, it wasn't genuine support. And I felt like it was really being hypocritical for the black community to say we support black people but then exclude black women because, I mean, we're black people too. So I felt like they were just being they were not genuine, and they're being very hypocritical, and that we should be able to support all black people if we're talking about black people.
Definitely, definitely. So the Chocolate Project, tell me a little bit more about some of the issues that you address and how you do this through the project.
So the first issue that we touched upon was the kind of lack of knowledge about the diversity in black women, because there are a lot of black women who believe that there's only one type of black woman. You have to have an afro and you have to be dark skinned, not knowing that there are black girls that are in, for example, Ethiopia or Somalia that have that don't have afros and are light skinned that are still black. And so I first did a photo shoot in the summertime in Boston that included girls from Cambridge and from Boston and from, I think, Brockton and Everett. And I made them all take pictures with different girls that they didn't know so that they can at least meet somebody outside of their own friend group. And I also kind of made them understand that, okay, just because your school has mainly black girls that have afros, that doesn't mean that you should cut off black girls that don't have afros. And I made them understand that there's a huge variety of what black can look like, and they should understand that and accept that if we're gonna be a good community.
Awesome. You're so well spoken for 17, if I do say so myself. Now, how has your school and the community responded to the Chocolate Project? What kind of feedback have you gotten regarding the Chocolate Project?
Specifically at my school, since I guess Cambridge is seen as a very diverse place, everybody kind of I didn't expect the reaction at all. A lot of people were talking about, oh, how about black men? You're just going to exclude black men? Or they heard the title Chocolate Project and were just oh, does that mean that you're going to eat chocolate there? And I was just that's not true. And everybody felt like we were excluding people because a lot of girls came up to me oh, I'm not black, I'm, for example, Hispanic, or I'm white. Does that mean that I can't be included in the project either? And that kind of wasn't the point. I kind of wanted to celebrate black women. I didn't want people to look at it as you can't come in or you can't be a part of it at all. And I feel specifically at my school, I got a lot of the kind of you're excluding a specific group. Teachers felt okay, I can't put this up because you're excluding these type of people and they're going to be hurt. But mainly from people outside of my school and outside of Cambridge, specifically in Boston, I got a lot of positive feedback, and they were really interested in my idea, which I thought was very surprising since people say that Ringe is a very diverse place.
How did it make you feel when you had that negative feedback and people were saying, well, you're excluding me, you're excluding Hispanic women, you're excluding white women? How did that make you feel?
It made me feel like they didn't really genuinely understand the point. It's kind of like when people say Black Lives Matter and then people say well, all lives matter. I felt like people weren't understanding that it wasn't excluding you, it's just that we don't get celebrated. There's a lot of talk about how women have made great strides in media, but then everybody likes to forget that black women are still in the same place in certain roles, and they want to put women in this big category, and they don't really pay attention to the struggles that black women face. And I wanted the Chocolate Project to be about celebrating and kind of getting out of that struggle and not just putting black women in this big category. Well, okay, black people have made great strides, so we're just going to put them in this big category, or women in general made great strides. We're just going to like dump them in that category.
Awesome. So you said you also do workshops at your school as well. So talk a little bit about that. What are these workshops that you do?
So we actually had our first workshop, I think last week, and the big title is called Black Girls versus the World, and that talks to different students in Cambridge and Boston, and also like adults, about the troubles that black girls in high school have to kind of face, and how we are kind of different from black women, like as a whole, because we're all women, but at the end of the day, like in high school specifically, the troubles that we have to face in society are kind of like pushed on us in high school even more, since we're all like youth, and like youth kind of listen to like the media, I think they see in different places, so we kind of get that pressure. And we basically just sit them down, and we like to make it a discussion, because we don't want to sit there and have people listen to us and they're sitting there just learning about black women. We want people to get their ideas out so that we know the issue. We don't want to just assume that everyone in Cambridge has this love for black women, or that there's no hatred or racism in Cambridge. We want people to be able to talk, to say, okay, I don't understand this, or I don't think that black women this or that. I want people to talk so that we can be like, okay, you think that, so we're going to change your idea. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to make sure that you don't leave with the same opinion that you had when you first came in.
Awesome. So simple, right? So it seems like you really create a safe space for young girls to have this dialogue and this conversation. And just going off of that, how do you think the media plays into the perceptions that, young, girls of color, in Cambridge, in Somerville, in Boston, wherever it is in that high school environment, how does that play into, their self-esteem, how they view themselves? What would you say about that?
I personally think that the media does play a very huge role, especially since the media portrays black women as like the same like stereotypical roles, but they don't do it directly. They kind of do it indirectly, and they say, well, this is what the people want, so then people don't really notice that it's very toxic. They just say, okay, this is funny, or this is entertaining, so then it's not really a bad thing if they're making fun of black women, or they have like the black woman with a bad attitude walking around and people are laughing at her. And I feel like specifically like younger black girls seeing like older black women playing those roles, I feel like they think that those kind of things are okay, and they think that, okay, this is my only representation of what black women should be, so then that's what I should aspire to be. Because specifically like in Cambridge, there's a lot of like younger black girls that have like come into the high school that feel like they should, or they have to act the way that women do when like in reality TV or when they see in movies, and they don't really like embrace like their own like naturalness. Like they feel like they have to be that stereotype in order to be accepted, or in order to not get laughed at or teased. And I feel like it really does play like a huge role in like the younger generation. Like my generation, we kind of understand that that's not what black women are, so we don't have to be like that. Like we're fine. We understand that that's just a TV show and that shouldn't represent us. But I feel like when you have us just going on in our like, Black Power movement, and we're over here, but then you're leaving like the younger generation, their only representation of black women is just the media. We're not really like helping them. We're just focusing on like ending like racism, ending this. We're not really taking the time to tell like the 9-year-olds and the 10-year-olds and the like 13 and 14-year-olds that are going into high school that you don't have to listen to that you can be like that if you want to. That's your just choice, but that's not your only option. Like you can embrace yourself, and no one's gonna make fun of you for it. You don't have to be like that. That's just entertaining. Like that's not representing black women. I feel like we like completely forget the younger generation. We just like go on our own.
The younger generation, like your sister who opened up the show, and even your younger brothers too, right? How have you influenced them?
Like I've seen, like for example, like my brothers say like, light-skinned girls are better, like, or like I don't like dark-skinned girls, and I'm just like, well, I'm dark-skinned, so you don't like dark-skinned girls, you don't like me. And I kind of tell them that don't think that just because the media says light skin girls are better, that's what you should go to. Like, your mom's dark skin, I'm dark skin. You have to understand that when you say that, you're excluding your mom, you're excluding me. You don't just say that and think that, it's fine. Like, my mom is, dark skin, but that doesn't mean, like, I'm not including it with my mom. And for my sister, like, I specifically, like, wear my hair natural because that's just my, like, choice. But I tell my sister, like, if you want to wear your hair natural, then that's you. Like, don't sit here and think that just because your friends have, like, long straight hair that you have to have long straight hair. Like, your hair is beautiful by itself. You don't have to sit here and do all these things. Their hair is natural. That's where they want to wear their hair. That's them. But God made you a different way. You can do this by yourself. You can wear your hair natural. Your hair is fine. She'll, like, sit there and try to comb her hair and make it like the Barbie doll, and I'm just like, your hair is fine. You can wear it in a big afro. She'll come up the shower with, like, a big afro. I'm just like, your hair looks fine. Like, your hair is longer than mine. Like, your hair is really nice. Like, it's
awesome. You're, like, so inspiring. You have no idea. All in one, 17-year-old girl. It's a lot. Now, you talk about the media, and I know that's, like, a huge influence not only on, older generations, your generation, the younger generation. It affects everyone. How do you think that we can, address the media? How do we tackle the media? How do you change the media? What do you have to say about that?
I think that it's kind of a big step to change the media because we can't ignore the fact that that's the things that people like to see. Like, reality TV, two girls fighting, that's what people like to see. They laugh at that. That's entertaining for them. I feel like what we need to focus on even more is making sure that the media is not something that people take for, like, facts. So we need to make sure that people understand that the media is just a movie. Like, how people watch scary movies and they know that, okay, that's not true, things not coming for me. Like, I know that that's just TV and it stays on TV. People need to do that when they see, like, very stereotypical things on TV. They need to know that black girls are not like that. Like, just because you see black girls yelling and screaming on TV, that does not mean that all black girls are like that. And I feel like we just need to take it at that standpoint. And I feel like when you take it at that standpoint, we're not going to really, like, change the media, but we're just going to make sure that people are smart enough to not listen to it, like, 110%.
Awesome. So, Miss Olivia, what do you say to, because every week on the Somerville Line, I always try to have a message to the youth out there, and you are literally, you are the youth, but you also have a very important and powerful message. So what do you say to young women of color who may be watching this evening? What do you say to them?
Mainly that, you're beautiful and you're fine. Like, you're just, like, don't let the media kind of change who you are. Don't let the people change who you are. And I feel like when people, for example, like, when people try to represent, like, black culture, they never really focus on, like, kind of like the positive side of black culture. Like, we have a lot of history before we got picked up on slave ships. We have a whole bunch of history that people don't really like to capitalize on. And I feel like we need to know, like, as black people, that it's not a sad thing or a bad thing to be black. Like, don't just think that, okay, I was a slave, oh my gosh, my history is really bad. And they think that, we came from queens, we came from kings. Like, you're beautiful. Like, you shouldn't feel like you have to straighten your hair. And if you want to straighten your hair, that's being natural. Do you. Like, we shouldn't listen to everybody because you have nowadays the whole, like, natural movement. People want to sit here and be like, if you straighten your hair, you're not in the natural movement, you're not black, whatever. If you wear a weave, you're not black, whatever. And then trash them down. Do what you want to do. You shouldn't be pressured by everybody else because at the end of the day, you're going to be by yourself. Everybody else's opinion is not going to matter. Like, you're going to be by yourself. Like, you shouldn't worry about what anybody says because they're going to do them and you're going to do you. And if you think that straightening your hair makes you black, do you. You bad, do you. Like, that's your opinion. You shouldn't feel like everybody has to have a huge opinion on you because at the end of the day, you're going to go home in your bed and go to sleep by yourself. You're not going to go to sleep with all those, like, 5 people who said that you look ugly today because they just don't matter at all. I feel like being black, you can define what being black means to you because we don't even know ourselves because we've gone from Afro was being black to there's a whole variety of being black. So for us to make that distinction is kind of breaking down the black community. So we just need to be able to say, okay, you want to do you, that makes you black too. Like, just accept that.
Awesome. So this is what, your junior year of high school, right? You're going to graduate next year.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with all of this awesomeness? Because, I mean, you are a bundle of awesomeness all in one. What are your plans after high school?
So I really want to go to an HBCU.
Cool.
And, like, I was thinking about really going to Howard. And I kind of, by the end of my senior year, I wanted to make, like, a mini film of, like, the chocolate project itself so that we can kind of push it outside of Boston and make people in other states know. And when I do go to college, I want to make sure that, like, each of the girls a part of it take it with them so that it can keep on going. Like, it's just not going to stop, like, high school year. And if we can keep it at Ringe, I'm going to make sure that the people that are either, like, sophomores or freshmen are going to keep it going, too.
Awesome. So we're going to take the chocolate project worldwide, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So tell me, let's speak a little bit more on that. So what is the future of the chocolate project? I know you say you want to take it to, if you go to Howard, you want to take it to Howard, but let's say, like, in the next few months, what's the future of the chocolate project?
For the next few months, we're going to be having another photo shoot in March, and it's going to be centered on kind of Black girls, and the big question is what makes you a Black woman or what defines a Black woman. And we're also going to have another workshop after that in the series called Black Girls versus Black Girls, which is going to talk about kind of like the struggles between Black girls and the issues of like colorism in our like own community and how we can like build Black women up and create like a better sisterhood and kind of have like a positive like kind of like see Black women on the street and be like, you know what, you're my sister, not have kind of like an angry like vibe, just be like, you know, kind of like in competition. I want to like end that, like by the time that I graduate, I want to make sure at Ringe and like in Boston, everything, that Black girls are looking at each other like, hey, what's up, hey, like I want to,
that's my sister.
Yeah, I want to have like that kind of vibe because, you know, my sister's gonna be going to probably the same high school that I'm going to, so I don't want to have her in that like negative setting. Like I want to make sure that I leave like my generation and her generation left with like a good positive like a good positive like setting to be in.
Awesome. So how can anyone join the chocolate project, or how does this work?
For the photo shoots, we kind of want like women of color, and for just like the chocolate project period, we want like anybody can join, anybody can support, anybody can bring any ideas. But even though it is a worldwide problem, like I want to center it towards the Black community just so that we kind of fix the issue within our own community, and then we can kind of like go on with Black Lives Matter, everything like that, because I feel like if we kind of make it a bigger issue, we're not going to get to the root of the problem of like the idea of like self-hate and a lot of the things that the Black communities don't really want to like center on, like Black on Black violence, things like that.
Definitely. And I think you touch on a ton of awesome points. The fact that this stems from even like history, right? So you go back to, if you want to go all the way back to the slavery days when it was like, you know, the lighter females got the privileges, the dark ones had to, you know, work outside, right? And that even like evolving into what we have today with the whole colorism. So do you guys address that as well, a little bit of colorism as well?
Yeah, we make sure that is like our number one topic because that really happens in Cambridge a lot. Definitely. Even though we kind of touch on diversity at our school, there's a lot of light skin is better, dark skin is like really, really bad. Like there's a lot of, especially within like the Black men at our school, like that's a huge topic that we don't like to talk about because it's kind of like, you know, the Black community's set, like we're cool, like we're fine. We have a lot of like Black love within our community, which I feel like is really not true. And people say things on the internet, people say things like slyly, and I just want to like end that. Like it shouldn't be about that. Like if we're here and we're like a unified community, then we need to make sure that we're 110% together with each other, because there's no point in marching on the streets together if we're going to go back and talk about how dark somebody is and how ugly they are because they're dark. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Definitely. I have full hope in the future if you are the one, you know, at the wheel taking the reins. Before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to add or anything else you'd like to say regarding the chocolate project?
Just that, you know, the chocolate project is mainly about just loving yourself, and that's all that we kind of stand for, just loving your natural self, and that it's fine to love yourself. You should love yourself 24/7.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Olivia, for coming. This was amazing. I wish you the best of luck with the chocolate project moving forward. I hope you get into Howard. I hope we see you at Howard, right? So definitely be in contact with us as well. All right? So thank you very much.
Greetings and welcome to the Beautiful Me Club, where you can have yourself a ball, where you can find a lot of love. If you're stable, not so stable, whatever you have on your table, we're able to fix it, mend it, talk it out, cry it out, or shout. Leave your woes me, girl, I'm trying to make it. I guess I am alright. Leave your money tight, my man ain't right out in the wind tonight. We came here to party, to smile, to get your me on for a while, to get your groove back, honey child. So get your cute on, let's get wild. And beautiful me baby, that's what I call myself. I leave my attitude on the shelf. It's about me and no one else but beautiful you baby. I'm talking dollars and not cents. It's not arrogance but confidence. So pick your head up and come on in. There's no drama, I'm saying, and no haters up in this spot. You treat it like the queen that you are. Here you walk the red carpet like a superstar. And beautiful you baby, and beautiful me too. I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna party like tonight is through. Beautiful you, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, yeah, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, beautiful you. Be excited, you're invited to take a part in our new spot. Here you're not judged by what you got. Everything and everybody here is hot, cause the Beautiful Me Club, baby, it is a party of the mind. Here your self-esteem is sure to climb, so put your troubles down and let's unwind. Beautiful you, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, yeah, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, beautiful you. Da 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 da, a shoo do 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 do, a da 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 da, a beautiful you. Da 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 da, a beautiful you. Da 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 da, beautiful you, beautiful you, beautiful you, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you, yeah, and beautiful me too. Beautiful you. Beautiful you.